join. So it is going to ask you if you're okay with that. But we are going to just go ahead and dive right in because I'm sure that lots of you have lots of questions. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Elizabeth Roberts, and I am the Associate Director of Admissions for the Honors College. You have probably gotten many emails from me with my name on it. If we haven't met yet, it is always a pleasure to get to chat with you all. So I'm always happy to set up individual meetings to talk with folks about any questions they have. But tonight we're mostly going to be hearing from some of our current students about their experiences. So I've got 5 students here that will just be, they sort of, have lots of different experiences in terms of majors and minors and where they're coming from. And so hopefully they can give you a sense of what the student experience is like here at College of Charleston and specifically in the Honors College. So I'm mostly going to turn it over to them for the rest of our 45 minutes to an hour that we have together. But what I'll ask you to do after they introduce themselves is just ask any questions that you have of them. We'll do all of this sort of through the chat box. And so you'll type in any questions that you want answered, and I'll be moderating and I'll go through and address any of the questions and ask them to our panelists to see sort of what their perspectives are on things. We are sort of focused on the student experience tonight, so we want to make sure that you all get a good sense as admitted honor students, which congrats, by the way, very exciting. We want to make sure that you have a sense of sort of what the community is like that you're joining here at College of Charleston. And of course, we feel really strongly that it's a great community. We're all a little bit biased because we all chose it, but we want to make sure that you get all of your questions answered. So I'm going to ask each of our panelists to introduce themselves. And let's start with Lori.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Laurie Fogelman. I'm a junior here in the Honors College. I'm originally from a small town in North Carolina called Norwood. It's like an hour east of Charlotte. I'm majoring in communication and I'm minoring in leadership. Aside from being in the Honors College, I'm also a member of the track and field team, and I'm also acting as an honors engaged liaison for our first year experience class. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that later tonight. Yeah, I'm also a C40 tour guide on campus. I've been an orientation intern for 2 years. So a few other things. So if you have any questions about campus involvement, just let me know.
Great, thanks. Kelsey, will you introduce yourself?
Alrighty. Hi guys, I'm Kelsey. I'm from Glenshaw, which is really Shaler Township. It's just Glenshaw on a mailing address. But I'm originally from Shaler Township, which is just north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I now live in Somerville, South Carolina. I'm a junior majoring in religious studies and minoring in Spanish, and I'm involved in the Catholic Student Association and the Student Alumni Associates. I also sit on the honor board, and of course I really love to be involved too. I can answer any questions on involvement with Lori.
Thanks, Kelsey. Samantha, our resident senior here.
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm Samantha Swalina. I'm a senior in the Honors College. I'm a geology and archaeology major with a minor in anthropology. Like everybody else on this panel you're going to find, I'm pretty involved on campus and have been over the course of 4 years. I've been involved with Honor Board. I'm a peer facilitator for BGS, which is the first year experience course you'll all take if you decide to come here. I've been involved with Alternative Break, which is a week-long service project that you can do where you travel usually, not anytime recently, this was my freshman year, it's COVID, but where you travel and do a service project. I'm involved in a lot of different research areas. I've done some biological anthropology, some archaeology, some marine biology, and now some geology. So a lot of the ology research basically I've done on campus. I've also been involved in some off-campus internships, such as through the Army Corps. I do some mapping for them right now. So I can speak both to student life on campus and also about like getting internships and research and kind of that STEM field.
Thanks, Samantha. Jenna?
Hi, I'm Jenna Stern. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I'm a freshman here at the college. I'm currently undeclared, but I'm hoping to do accounting and I think minor in Jewish studies and maybe econ. Some of the things on campus that I'm involved in, I'm really big in with like Jewish life on campus. So I'm on the board of Hillel, which is the Jewish organization. I'm a Jewish student ambassador. Just a lot of the clubs on the Jewish end I'm very involved with. Also, Chucktown Sound, which is the pep band here on campus. So if y'all have questions about that as well. And I guess I can speak to like freshman life during COVID. I can speak a lot about that.
Yeah, we were reminiscing before everyone jumped on the call that it was 11 months ago that Jenna was in your shoes, sitting on Zoom calls every day at 6 p.m. after school, trying to figure out which college to attend. So if you have any questions about how to navigate that, she is an expert. All right, and last but certainly not least, Faith.
Hi, everybody. My name is Faith, like you said. I am a junior at the college. I am a molecular biology major and I'm minoring in poli-sci and chemistry. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, so not too far. And I'm involved in a couple things on campus. There's a organization called SCAMP for minorities in STEM. It's a research-focused organization. I'm a part of the Pre-Dental Student Association. I'm a biology and chemistry tutor at the Center for Student Learning on campus, and I tutor for GED students off campus. I am involved in Women in STEM and then lightly involved in a couple other things. So feel free to ask about any organizations.
All right, so a big thanks, of course, to our panelists for joining us tonight, taking a moment away in the middle of midterms to talk with you all. So we've already gotten a couple of questions, which is great, and feel free to add questions as we go. So lots of questions I am anticipating. There's already 2 here, but I'm sure there will be more about housing. So let's just talk a little bit about honors housing. So a couple questions here. Do all honors freshmen live in the same dorm? And then if I want to have a roommate in the honors college, how do I connect with them? So what advice do y'all have about honors housing?
Well, we honor students have our very own dorm called Berry Dorm. That's short for Joe E. Berry Hall. And students live on certain floors with bottom floors reserved for freshmen. And what's great about living there is that you can just walk downstairs and access some faculty offices and some classrooms, as well as the entrepreneurs living learning community if you end up in that. But of course you don't have to stay there your first year. 80% of students do, and you don't have to be there beyond freshman year, but of course we encourage you to do so because you really get connected to a tight-knit honors community by living there.
Just to add to that, if any of you guys are nervous about the whole random roommate thing and, oh, I don't know, like the uncertainty that comes with that, a lot of people who are living in Berry who are freshmen are going to have random roommates, random suite mates, and just by the mere fact of you'll be interacting with them so much, it's a lot less nerve-wracking when you actually get there. So I wouldn't stress too much about, oh my gosh, what if we're not compatible? Just kind of know, hey, if I'm looking for this sort of roommate, and fill it in your what is called residence hall selection like profile, and hopefully they'll match you up and you do a roommate and suite mate group agreement in the beginning of the year. So you can kind of lay down, okay, this is the type of living conditions that I prefer, and get that squared away before anything goes further.
And if I remember correctly, they had us do a little quiz with things like what temperature do you like the room at? How messy do you like it? And honestly, that quiz is magic. My roommate, me and her were both perfectly messy, but only on our sides, and we both kept it freezing cold in our room. And everybody in my suite liked it really cold. And so a lot of the things I think people get nitpicky about, that quiz just saves you all the arguments because they put you with people who like to live in the same space. And because you're all honor students, you already have so much in common with just you like to work hard, you've got a lot of classes, you're really excited to get engaged. And so I think that we stayed up till like 3 in the morning the first week, just every night talking. Like we were all just so excited to be living together. So I highly recommend living in Barry with other honor students just because it's really nice to feel like you already know somebody. Just because you are in that honors group, you already have your little community there. It makes the transition just a little bit easier.
To add to that, if you want to connect with honor students, there's the honors group me for accepted students, which I definitely recommend joining. I didn't join it till later, like when I paid my deposit to come here, but you'll meet, like, as weird as it sounds, you'll definitely get to like know people based off of the group me. And especially coming, even if like you decide not to room with any of the people, you'll still have a sense for like, okay, I know like who these people are, and we kind of have talked. And I know over the summer a lot of us like got together on other Zoom calls, so there's definitely a lot of ways to like connect with students who are in the honors college just through that group me. So I highly recommend joining that if you're thinking about coming here or just want to get a feel for the other incoming freshmen.
All good advice. So yes, and Catherine here is also plugging an Instagram page for other admitted College of Charleston students. It is a little trickier to pin down exactly who is an honor student, which is why a lot of folks will use that group me to match up with somebody. And you can request a roommate, suite mate, as well as pick your room within the housing application as well. So let's talk about what an honors student schedule looks like. So talk about how your schedule might be different from a regular College of Charleston student, not only in terms of courses, but maybe what you're doing outside of the classroom too.
To go back to freshman year, there are certain courses that you're going to take, very seminar style courses you're going to take. BGS, Beyond George Street, kind of a introduction to all of a lot of preparatory things that you're going to need for your 4 years. You make a 4-year PACE navigator for your classes. I think you start a resume. Just even being in a group of honor students who are completely different majors, different areas than you, and just being able to talk about. We covered a couple of just issues and how to approach being a college student in those classes, and how to approach living on your own in those classes. And we also did Honors Engaged, which is and if somebody wants to step in and say it better than I can, feel free. But for me, it was really the first collegiate volunteer experience that I had. It kind of is very community engagement focused, and you're going out into a local organization. Usually a lot of them are Charleston based organizations that our school is affiliated with, and you go into you can be able to choose. I think you can choose it. Either you choose it or you get matched with it, and you kind of get to spend that semester, actually being in Charleston. And I think that's really a good way to kind of kickstart you if you didn't know kind of where to get started with volunteering or anything. It does that for you. Those are two pretty unique experiences for honors kids.
So the question's still just like about our experience and okay, so kind of going off of classes, I was just looking at a few of the questions that are coming through the chat. There, a lot of the honors classes have met in person this semester and last semester, which I know has been very nice for me because that's how I met a lot of friends, was through like those classes, because my honors classes were the only ones in person. And a lot of those classes, like last semester, I took an Introduction to Southern Studies course, and it was kind of like anthropology, but focusing just on the South. And that one was really unique. And I saw someone asked a question about like math, and I'm in a data visualization and storytelling course, which is really cool because it like takes things from like we're coding now and like kind of psychology, and it mixes a lot of stuff together, which is really cool. And even as a freshman, I felt like I get that interdisciplinary course like selection that everyone in the honors college talks about, and I've gained a lot of valuable skills from it. And like BGS, what Faith was talking about, that has definitely prepared me for a lot of stuff that I probably would not have wanted to like ever like think about as a freshman if I didn't have that course. And I know I'm very thankful for it, at least, and it's definitely a very good like preparatory course that non-honor students don't have the chance to take, which is kind of unique to honor.
Yeah, and just to kind of build off of that, there have been so many times that I'll be talking about a class that I'm taking, like an honors class that I'm taking with some of my friends that aren't in honors, and they'll just say to me, "Wow, that's so cool. Like, I wish I was able to take that class." So we're just, because I saw a question in there that's like, what are some things that honor students are given that other students aren't? We're just offered so many courses that are, like Jenna was saying, like everyone was saying, that are so unique and interdisciplinary. Like the titles, like you just heard, like I've been in one called like polluted information, and you learn about these things that pull together history and communication and just so many different things that all different kinds of majors want to learn about and need to learn about. And it's just like we wouldn't have access to these if we weren't in the honors college. And then also the class size goes down from I think 15-1 to 10-1 whenever you're in the honors college. So you really do get that one-on-one time with your professor. You know every single person in your class. So it's a lot easier to really get engaged and really connect with your professor and your classmates. So that's just been my experience with it. I've never had a bad honors class. I've enjoyed every single one. They're all so unique and offer something different.
Going off of what Faith said, you also have an honors advisor in addition to your major and minor advisors. He or she will stay with you all for years, so that you'll really get to know him or her. And it's not specific to your major. You go to him or her every semester, and he or she will help you pick out classes. And you can also ask him or her any questions regarding your progress in your major or minor. For instance, mine has really helped me to get on track and take the right amount of classes for my major and minor so as to not get too rushed by taking all these classes in one semester. And she's also helped me find different organizations and opportunities that I could work with for my internship for honors. She's really great to know and really vital for my journey at College of Charleston. And as for classes, you don't necessarily take more classes, but you do take more rigorous ones, ones that engage deeper in topics like this, our greater society or our leadership. It really helps you think and really succeed in life after college.
I'll just kind of finish that up.
Mhm.
I've seen a couple people ask like what are the benefits of honors and like how can it help me with internships, and to kind of touch on BGS and how honors helps, I think one of the main benefits to honors is that coming to college, you're already going to have that leg up, both with the BGS program. I'm a peer facilitator for it, like I said, so I am a little biased. I think that it's a really great program that really teaches you how to have a LinkedIn, a resume, and a lot of professional skills that students take years to learn and master. You guys are basically forced, but in a way that is a really low stress environment, to get feedback from peers and from adults who've been through this, to make sure that when you're ready for an internship or research or anything that you want to pursue, you already have all the documents you need. And just in the Charleston community in general, honors college means something. There's a lot of honor students that have done a lot of internships around here. Like I said, I work with the Army Corps. There's students who work at the aquarium, who work with like Blackbaud. There's so many companies in Charleston, and they know honor students. And so when you have honors by your name, you're getting yourself in the door with companies that are going to put you ahead, and they're going to want you as a freshman or sophomore versus like a senior. You're going to have the credibility behind you of the honors college and students who have come before you. For the community here specifically, I know when people see honors, it means something, just because you guys have all taken really rigorous classes to get to this point to be accepted. And so it's almost like a little stamp of approval on your resume, which is a really great thing to have because they know the caliber of the students you guys are. So that's always been really helpful. And that's what helped, I'm sure, me and a lot of other people here get involved so early on, is because people knew that we were competent. We have the honors college name behind us. And so we had a lot of trust and responsibility put in us even early on, which is a little scary, but always in a good way, in a way that you rise above.
And there's a lot of people around you rooting for you, so we don't just throw you to the wolves. There's definitely support in place for you to be successful. So I would like to touch on this a little bit more. I know that Kelsey kind of talked a little bit about this, but how would you describe the difficulty level of honors classes compared to regular courses? So what is that difference for you all between an honors course and a regular course? Talk about maybe how the workload looks different, what the in-class experience looks like, that sort of thing.
I think the main difference I notice in honors classes versus non-honors classes is there's kind of an expectation for a certain level of engagement with the material, with discussion, just with the class in general. I think our professors and each other, we expect ourselves to, when they give us something to read, that you read it thoroughly, that you come, with ideas, or you come with questions, and it's due to a multitude of things, and kind of that smaller class size makes that even better, because you do get a chance to whether it is to speak in discussion or ask questions or whatever it is, it's kind of it's an environment where it's in larger classes and non-honors classes, it's kind of easier to slide by, maybe not, fully engaging in material or fully, soaking things in. But I think in honors classes, it's hard, or it's more rigorous, just because you are held to the standard that you are coming prepared, and you're coming to fully take advantage of all the class has to offer.
I would just also say, as a student who's taken honors versions of normal classes, such as like honors bio and chem, which you're still going to take even if you're not honors, but it's the honors version, that I haven't necessarily found it to be more difficult, but I think that the emphasis and focus a lot of times in honors is making those interdisciplinary connections, which for some people can maybe be a little more difficult to grasp just because they're not used to that concept of drawing from a lot of different places at once. But even in something like my organic chemistry class, I was learning almost the same exact material, but we also would have like 5 minutes at the end of every class to talk about a new research paper that had just come out, or a way that the skill or topic we talked about today related to industry. And so I just felt like I was really understanding the material past the textbook. And I think honors does a really good job of trying to make sure that you're not just learning to regurgitate, but you're learning and can apply it and can talk about it with people. I mean, the whole point of learning is to communicate that, not just keep it in. And so honors really does a good job of, every time I go to an honors class, I just want to tell all my friends about it and how cool it is. And like everybody's kind of said here, everything you learn is just so interesting. You want to share it. So difficult, I would probably say like a lot of reading in an AP class maybe, but I don't even think that, I know somebody asked about like how it relates to high school. I, I felt like honors was just a lot of discussion. And so as long as it's something you're comfortable with, you're going to be okay. And even if you're not, honestly, a lot of honors teachers really work to understand that how people communicate is different. So I've had honors teachers who, if you tell them you don't really like talking in front of class, you send them an email before class with 3 questions you had for the day, so that they knew you were participating still. And like they understood maybe you didn't like talking in a group discussion. And so participation is key, but that looks different for everybody. And so honors also does a really good job of, if that's something that's difficult for you, finding ways to show participation, which is great because then everybody's still, like people have been mentioning, everybody's still involved because the expectation is that you're involved.
I'd also, oh, you can go, Kelsey.
Oh, are you sure, Jenna? Oh, okay, thanks. I found that as a religious studies major in honors, as I took a few honors classes in religious studies, I found that I've had to write a lot. And don't get me wrong, it's not as stressful as you think. What writing really does is it helps you express yourself and state your own opinions and your own views about whatever topic you're going over in class. And it really helps you relax by not having to do as much multiple choice where have to stress over one particular choice and you can't really explain why you chose that. But you may have to do the same in other humanities courses as you analyze society while you experience it. But for other schools in the college and other majors, it may be different. For instance, I know that in some classes, it's a lot of hands-on activity there where you can do experiments in labs. As few of the students in this panel can tell you. So you'll have a different experience depending on your major. That's what I really like about this college.
Going off of like what Samantha and both Faith had said, I've also found that my honors courses have been, like they kept saying, and more interdisciplinary and engaging. My friends always joke that last semester when I took my Southern Studies course, that became like my personality because I just loved it so much. And then my data science course that I'm taking now, I think has become me because, which I like really enjoy, that I have these classes that I'm like, can't wait to go to. And I look forward to them every single day. And I'm like, okay, I can go to data science. Like it's almost 1 o'clock. It's my favorite class of the day. And I think that's a really cool aspect of honors. And especially like the connections that you can build in your class is something really unique. Like that class, I'm in a class of seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. So like I get to learn from people that are in majors that I'm interested in and have done a lot of really cool like research opportunities or just other cool things like in the business school or just a bunch of really I like that I get to learn from people above me and kind of see what I can do and what I can aspire to, which I think is something really cool about honors and even like the college in general. There's a lot of ways to just get involved and meet people from all different levels, which I enjoy a lot.
So it's gotten a little quieter in the chat box. So if you do have any other questions, feel free to drop them there. I do want to touch on out of the classroom kinds of things. I know Samantha was talking about all of the ways that honors can open doors for you as a student in the area, but would you all talk about what sort of internship research opportunities there are for honors students, study abroad, fingers crossed when the world opens back up again, service experiences, what sort of out of the classroom opportunities have you heard about through honors and then maybe taken advantage of because you learned about it?
I'm gonna go first if that's okay, because honors, the Honors Hub specifically, which the Honors Hub is a website where they post about opportunities, internships, jobs, clubs, genuinely changed my life. That's about, I think it was my sophomore year, there was a posting on there about a marine biology research experience in Panama. And it was only posted on the Honors Hub, only place you could find out about this. And I saw it as a sophomore, and I was just like, I have to do this. I have to apply. And I got it. It was phenomenal. It was 2 honor students that got it. And the Honors College, so they not only got me this research experience where I went to Panama for 6 weeks and worked with a bunch of really cool women scientists on a sponge project, but they also helped fund it. They helped me find out about research grants. They have an honors summer enrichment grant where they were able to basically be the reason I could not only find out about this opportunity, but could fund this opportunity to go. And going and doing that experience is basically the reason I know that I want to go to grad school sometime in the future. It helped me solidify what I kind of liked about research and didn't, and what I liked about maybe science and marine science, but not necessarily biology. And I got to study abroad, which was a fantastic opportunity that I hope everybody gets to do. And I'm sure everybody on the panel knows multiple people at a minimum that have gone and studied abroad through the Honors College. So because of the Honors College and specifically just the platforms they have, I've been able to do so many incredible things that only honors students really have access to, such as the Honors Hub.
Okay, mine's is, oh, sorry. Okay, mine's is also research centered. It was the summer after my freshman year. And I was, like we said, you have honors advisors, and mine was Dr. Myers Bernstein. And she was just telling me about certain opportunities that were available in terms of research. And there's this program at MUSC for undergraduate research. And I did not think I was going to get it. I was like, I'm a freshman. Like, what are the odds that it happened? And lo and behold, I did get it. And like Samantha, they helped me fund it and be able to stay here over the summer. And I got the opportunity to do cardiovascular research at MUSC. So that was fantastic. And it's kind of the introduction to research and just a different aspect of STEM that, you know, you're not necessarily going to get inside of the classroom, which was an amazing opportunity.
Unfortunately, I never got the chance to study abroad my whole nearly 3 years here. It's been especially hard with COVID. Right now, the college is suspending all of their faculty-led study abroad programs because of the virus, but they are considering affiliate programs for like different companies and approving them on a case-by-case basis. What I did for my honors immerse, which as you know is study abroad research or an internship, is an internship with the Charleston Area Religious Foundation. Internships partner with partner you with organizations that are also interested in your major, so you can get a taste of what being part of that organization, that type of organization is like. At the Charleston Area Religious Foundation, I helped out with social media by promoting different events, and I also did other things like attend these events and write up notes to them for the staff of the organization itself, and create a list of names for the mailing list for the newsletter. Your work at this organization might differ depending on the type, but what you'll inevitably do is have a once-a-week meeting with your internship advisor and do some readings related to this organization and take notes, and then do a final project. What I did was an 8 to 10 page policy paper for that organization, giving some suggestions about what's going right and what they can improve. So if you'd like to consider that, I would highly encourage you to do so.
I can add something as well, another plug for BGS. But one of the weeks was about, well, one thing is that this year all freshmen got paired with a career center advisor. And I think that has also been very helpful to prepare me to try and like look for internships. And I know when I met with my career center advisor, she was telling me about like different resume things that helped me a lot. And I know when we in BGS, we worked on personal narratives, and that helped me a lot when I was going to apply for an accounting internship, because I've never had accounting experience in my life. But what I learned in BGS on how to like write a personal narrative and my advice from my career center advisor, it made me feel like more prepared and ready to go apply for an internship. Even though I have like no experience in it, I was like, this is what I can bring to you and why I might like help y'all. But I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to do that if it weren't for BGS and all the things it's helped me. So go BGS.
Jenna is BGS's #1 cheerleader. I love it. Unless it's Samantha. I think Samantha's a big fan too.
We can tie. We can be tied.
Okay. So I want to sort of ask one more kind of big question, and then we'll do a popcorn style question at the end. So would you all talk a little bit about the culture of the Honors College? So I have a question about whether there's a work hard, play hard kind of atmosphere in the Honors College and at College of Charleston, as well as there was a question earlier that we didn't get to about what sort of like fun activities honors students might do together. So just talk about, the culture of the Honors College.
I can go. I haven't experienced anything like too negative. I honestly think everyone here is just very friendly and wants you to do well in really whatever you do. And they just want to help you succeed and branch out and try just whatever you can. And even like my peers, they're like just peers are very encouraging of each other. And if you share like a very like a cool opportunity you got, they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Congratulations. Like go you. And I haven't experienced anything too like intense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and just kind of going off of that, I would compare the atmosphere here to being like it's we're all hardworking and we all definitely like to do our best, but at the same time, I'd say it's very laid back and chill. Like that's just Charleston in general, and that's CFC. But at the same time, like the Honors College is definitely very rigorous. You're gonna have to put in your time and the effort and the energy. But yeah, like we obviously are still students here in college, and like on the weekend we go to the beach, we go and watch a sunset. Like that's just what we do to have fun. So I mean, that's just how the city is in general. So that's how I like to kind of compare the college experience. It's like yes, you're going to put in your time and do the work, but at the same time, like everyone's friendly, laid back, and it's just like a chill time, I guess.
And I mean, I will say, since I have been here for a couple years now, it's easy to get sucked into the trap of being with a lot of really rigorous students who all want to do everything they can do and fill every waking moment with cool experiences and opportunities, to get sucked into the trap of comparing yourself to others. And I honestly think honors does a really great job of everybody kind of has their own niche. I think it's niche of what they like. Everybody I meet, even if they're in the geology department, wants to do different things, or in the biology department wants to do different things. And so anywhere you go, if you guys are looking at other colleges, I'm sure too, and looking at rigorous programs, maybe other honors colleges, it's going to be a sense of we all are trying our hardest to do as many amazing opportunities as we can. And so really it's more about checking in with yourself. And I would say that for anywhere you decide to go, hopefully here, but anywhere you decide to go, you need to make sure that, you know, you're taking care of yourself and you're not pushing yourself too hard, because there can be so many opportunities that you can overwhelm yourself. And so I don't really get the work hard, play hard atmosphere here, but there is an atmosphere anywhere you go with a bunch of students who want to try hard and work hard, of not burning out. And so I think the faculty members here, my honors faculty advisor has a button that says no. And when you go into his office, he makes you press it if you tell him you're doing too many things. Genuinely, I cannot make this up. That man is fantastic. I love him. But they really keep you both, they keep a lot of opportunities available to you, but they tell you when you need to take a break. And your friends will as well, because everybody, like Lori just said, cares about each other so much here. We're all friends. So I think that's just something to look out for no matter where you go. But you're going to make great friends here. I know for sure I have. I've lived with my freshman roommate for 3 years, and keep in touch with literally everybody I lived with still. So those are going to be lifelong friendships you're going to have. So just stay healthy no matter where you go.
Kind of like Samantha was saying, I think there is the Honors College kind of establishes a sense of a baseline status quo productivity level that kind of, just because you're surrounded by people who are genuinely interested in doing well or being involved, it kind of encourages you and motivates you to do the same thing without it being competitive. And I think that's a really good thing, especially for incoming freshmen, because that is, like she said, taking care of yourself and making sure you're living a balanced life is going to be what, you know, ultimately thrives your success over the 4 years and just your happiness in general at college, so, or anywhere. So I think it's definitely a focus on balance and a focus on you finding out what you want to do. And, you know, I think it's emphasized a lot that, you know, you may come in with a preconception of what you want to do or how, you know, you may envision your future. And it's okay if that is not necessarily what happens, or it's okay if you have no idea what it is that you want to do. It's more like, hey, we have resources, we have opportunities. Let me show them to you and let me help you in whichever one you pick so that you can be able to, you know, have like a hand guiding you in whatever path you pick.
So give me a like thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down, panelist. Would you say it's a collaborative environment in the Honors College? Thumbs up all around. Okay, cool. That's what I thought, but I got that question. I wanted to make sure. So we're going to end by with one final question, and I'll just ask that each of our panelists answer it briefly. So what is one thing you wish you had known about the Honors College or the college in general before you made your college decision? It can be something we've already talked about, but what is that one thing that you wish you had known? Who wants to go first?
I can go ahead and go.
Yeah.
I I don't know if you probably can't tell, but I'm a little more introverted, and I never really had to really network prior to coming to college. And I think it the honors class specifically is just like a networking minefield. And you might not realize it yet because when you're a freshman, all of your peers are just starting, but eventually these people are going to be the heads of organizations on campus. They're going to be involved in internships all over. They're going to be in all of these things, and you are forming connections with them early on. You're forming connections with, the alumni that you're inevitably going to come across during your time here, with the faculty and staff. And I think that, is something to be aware of if you're coming in, even if you're not the most sociable of people or person, just to know that, hey, these connections are important. Like, even though they're casual, they are, you don't know who is going to be, your roommate 3 years from now, or who is going to be your coworker soon, or something like that.
Yeah, I can kind of just build off what Faith said. I guess just like I wish I would have taken more advantage my freshman year when I was staying in Barry in the dorm. Um, Not that I wasn't friendly, didn't say hey to people, but like there were literally people on my hall that I was in the same class with. And I don't know, I just wish I would have made more of an effort to like connect with them, because now like I am connected with them and we've been in more classes, that sorts of thing. So I guess I just was kind of afraid as a freshman, which is kind of typical. But here I am now telling you guys that like you should just talk to people and really connect to them, because it's really not that big of a community and it is really close knit. So definitely just reach out and get as involved as you can and make friends, because that's the best way to stay connected to people.
Yeah, going off of what Lori said, there's quite enough time to take the non-honors classes that you want to take. In fact, your majors aren't always honors. I mean, you can take honors as part of your major, but it's mostly going to be regular classes, and that's okay because you can also get in touch with the larger community that's outside of honors, and you can also join the same clubs and organizations that regular students can go into, and really develop your interests outside of your classes. Regular and honor students can take the same regular classes together, but only honor students can take honors classes, except without the instructor's permission. I'm sorry, except with the instructor's permission.
I guess I can go. I guess kind of like what Lori said, just like I wish I knew that I would, or I honestly don't know. I feel like I knew a good amount going in because like the Honors College did a really good job last year of like having a lot of stuff and sharing a lot of information. But I wish I knew that I was going to make like, sounds so corny, but like to make like my closest friends here, because if I knew that I was going to have this like really strong community sooner, I would have made my deposit like 2 months earlier, because like I'm telling you, everyone here is so nice. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I could go on and on.
I was
yeah.
gonna say, I think
would, it's a little bit more just like in general, because I was actually just talking to my roommate about this the other day. We both actually came to College of Charleston as completely separate majors than what we are now. She came in marine bio, is now French and English. I came in pre-med, and I'm now geology. And I thought I knew what I wanted to do when I was applying to colleges, and I never looked past the one program I applied to at colleges when I made my decision. And when I was looking to see what else was there, I only looked for pre-med majors that I thought would be good. And I can't believe how much I lucked out to go to a school that happened to have the perfect majors for me. And I didn't even know geology existed until sophomore year. And I didn't know we had an archaeology major until junior year. I had no idea. And it's really easy just in general when you're applying to colleges to be like, this is what I'm majoring in, so this is what I'm looking at. But realistically, I'm sure, and again, everyone here probably knows at least a couple people who have changed their minds, changed their majors. And you want to go somewhere where you're going to be not only supported and encouraged to change if you change your mind, but somewhere where you can and somewhere where there's lots of opportunities. And so both liberal arts in general, and I think College of Charleston specifically, did a really great job of encouraging me to leave when it wasn't right for me. And they had so many different opportunities, and liberal arts gave me the chance to try the opportunities out. And so it's just really easy to be applying to the school for the major and not for anything else. And please, I wish I had known, because I would have also made my deposit 2 months earlier if I had realized, wow, College of Charleston, it's so easy to change your mind, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think I knew that in the back of my mind, but I wasn't letting myself think that. So really make sure you're going somewhere where you're supported and not just going for one specific thing, because you likely will change your mind. And that's part of taking classes and trying things out. And if everybody who was here tonight kept their major, I would be astounded if even half of you did, honestly. And that's a good thing. You know, you want to take in information and change your mind. So just keep an eye out for that no matter where you go, but especially here, it was not only easy, but encouraged. And that made it a lot easier, because it was really hard at the time when I was going through it. And now I'm so thankful that nobody tried to pressure me into staying where I was.
So I like that question a lot. Thank you to the student who asked that, because I think that is all really great advice and great secret tips from current students. So we will end it there. I want to, any of the panelists who are comfortable sharing their email address, feel free to drop that in the chat box in case any of these students have questions, they want to follow up with you. All of our panelists tonight are current student ambassadors. And so this is what they do. They talk with prospective students like yourselves, and always happy to answer whatever questions you have. I want to make another plug for some of our other upcoming events. This is kind of the first of our admitted honor students series. So I'm going to drop a link, and it's going to get lost in all the thank yous. But don't forget to check out that admitted honor students page. We'll do another panel in March with some current faculty, so you can sort of hear their perspective on things. But we also have our honors experience events. That's, you know, a chance for you to learn about the Honors College, but also to connect with other students. So we'll be doing more like breakout rooms, and you'll be able to talk with other admitted students at that event, because we do think it's really important, like Jenna said, to get to know the other honor students before you're even on campus. That website also has, and I'm going to drop it again because it has disappeared in all the thank yous, a link to the GroupMe. So if you haven't joined that yet, be sure to do that. I will regret it later when my phone is going crazy with all the notifications, but that is one of the best ways just to connect with other admitted honor students, as well as we have current students that are moderating that. And then one final thing, I plugged this earlier, but we do have a very rare opportunity because some of our classes are still hybrid right now. The college has announced that we will plan to do normal operations for the fall, you know, all things, assuming that everything else continues to get better. But we do still have some current classes that are hybrid or online only. And so there are links to sign up to Zoom into one of those classes on that website as well. So you can actually sit in and see what a 50-hour long class in the Honors College looks like if you were interested in joining in for that. Okay, so lots of information for you all. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It was great to see lots of familiar names and faces, and we wish you all the best of luck. If you haven't made your decision yet, let us know. Don't hesitate to reach out to any of us if there's anything we can do to support you in making that decision. Thank you all again for joining us, and I hope that we will see you soon at one of our other admitted student events. Have a great night, everyone.